This video is sponsored by Skillshare. So my brain had the audacity to fail me. Perfection! It is time to make the jumpsuit of my dreams. So a couple weeks ago I copied this jumpsuit that I'm wearing right here. I made the pattern. I made a little toile, and today we are going to make another toile, but like a wearable toile in this gorgeous yellow fabric. After we verify the fit and the look, we are moving on to, just hold on a second. Denim jacquard, a slow fashion gem and jewel. I'm not gonna waste any more time talking when we can be sewing, all right? So let's get started. So this toile will start with the beloved step of cutting and then serging, my favorite. I just wanted to point out that I'm cutting out yellow fabric and my cat is playing with a yellow ball. So interesting. It is another day. Yesterday was my anniversary with my husband of 5 years, so congrats to us. I'm very excited to see this cute little shorts, yellow shorts, sunshiny number come together, so let's get started. Most annoying part done. Shorts check. It's looking pretty crazy, it's feeling pretty stiff, but we're getting there. Hello, I top stitched on the wrong side. I just got my new dress form and I am keen to open it. So we're pausing the sewing and we're opening. Sorry, Bathilda, but it's time for you to go. Thank you for your many years of service to me. You look good, sister. Okay, it's back to work with me. Gosh, am I ever gonna get this done? Hello. The little hook and eyes here. Things I do. Definitely something weird going on with the back armhole. I realized that one bobbin is not enough for this project, so I have to stop my project and wind a bobbin again. So my brain had the audacity to fail me as I put in the inner extension for the hook and eyes. I put it on the wrong side. So I'm gonna finish up the bottom of shorts and the top as a little throw on. I put too much work into it. I'm not taking it out. The woes of sewing. So what I'm doing now is finishing off the top of the waistband. It's almost nighttime. I cannot lie, I did procrastinate a little, but some developments. The front fit of this is fine, but the back is really weird. For the time being, I think I'm done with this. I feel like this particular project needs a rest. I really just want to get on to the final garment. Surprise, surprise, it's the next day and I need to update that pattern quickly. This wonderful yellow attempt has shown me the fit at least. I do want to finish it at some point, but let's just move on to the main attraction. That's what we need to do.
Check the mic and make sure it sounds right.
It is finally time to cut out the fabric. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. Everything is cut! I'm so glad Everything fit. I even have some fabric left if I make a mistake on like small pieces, so gotta be careful. But yeah, let's sew. So it's another day again, and today I'm going to start with doing a little bit of embroidery. I took this class on Skillshare. It taught me how to freehand embroider with the machine. So I thought I would use this purple thread just on the pockets, like the back pocket and the front pocket. I thought it would be a subtle little design element and pulling in some knowledge that I learned. I've been trying to take breaks from the flurry of my sewing business and just learn something new, you know? Skillshare has been so helpful with that. If you don't know about Skillshare, they're an online learning platform with literally thousands of ad-free classes that you can take. I've already taken some classes in productivity, singing, sewing, illustration, interior and graphic design, and so much more. As I mentioned, I took this free hand embroidery class, which has been my favorite so far. It's taught by Jordan Gomez and it's called How to Draw with a Sewing Machine. It was such a fun and to the point class that taught me so easily something that I've been wanting to try for so long. I love the sketch-like look that it creates, and I think that it looks great on this denim jacquard project that I'm working on. So why don't you try Skillshare? The first 1,000 people to use the link below will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare, which is pretty awesome. You got nothing to lose, and I guarantee that it will enrich your creativity. Okay, so this is what I came up with. I think it looks really cool. I kind of should have done this before I sewed all of these because it took a little bit of time. But once I put it up against the garment, like the other pieces, I'm just not a huge fan of the purple. I just don't feel like it's the vibe. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of scrapping it or even just changing it for orange fabric thread. We'll see, we'll see. I'm gonna do a little test in orange thread. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna do it because this fabric and this idea has lived in my mind for so long, and I do not want to wreck it with a poor design choice. So let's see. Okay, I think this looks really cool, but I still want it to be subtle. So I think I'm just going to do this design on the inside. So like the facings, and I think that will be the nice little design detail and it will tie in with the lining. Ah, I'm so excited. Okay. So this is the final look. That's the under collar and the facings, and this is the inner flap. And I'm very happy with this, so I'm gonna start sewing the entire thing. I've overlocked everything. I've recut the pockets that I did in the purple thread embroidery, and I'm ready to sew. I'm going to complete the fronts of the garment, so the front pant pockets, front chest pockets, then I have to sew in the front zipper. Before I sew all in everything, it will just make it so much easier. So I actually have to partially add in the waistband as well. So this is going to be a bit of an adventure. These are the pant pocket bags. This is the pocket backing that I overlocked in, but I need to sew it down. And then I need to sew these into the front pant on either side. Okay, so we've got the two front pockets. They're tacked at the top and sides. Now I'm going to sew up these pockets and do their flaps as well. For these rounded pockets, I sewed a basting stitch along the edge here, and I'm going to just gather it a bit so that it will fold in very nicely. This is the back pocket. So I have these two drill holes. I'm going to line it up actually with the print here, and then line this up. I'm going to sew the facing shoulders together And then I'm going to bind the raw edge with the same lining fabric that I'm using for the pockets and everything. Then I'm going to sew the binding on here. Folded it towards the back. And now I'm going to top stitch, catching it on the back. Okay, so we have the front top. I sewed a basting stitch along here, and I'm going to match that to the waistband. So that's gonna get sewn to there, and then I'm also gonna sew this to here, and I have to overlap it by ½ inch. This is what it's gonna look like in the end. I'm gonna do the same thing here as well. It would have been better if I had a side seam in this waistband, but I didn't. I'm keeping it as one piece, so it's attached. It's not really gonna obstruct it too much when I'm sewing in the zipper. I've sewn the facing to the inner waistband. I need to lay the zipper on this side, the side with the fly shield, the right side down. Then I'm putting this shield over it, and then I'm placing the facing. So we're just gonna focus on this side. I'm gonna sew this in. So we've got this sewn. Started at a ½ inch here, and then I made it a ¼ inch seam allowance here so that it'd be further back in when the other side overlaps. If we turn it out, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, okay? Okay, for the other side, I need to open up the fly facing here, and once I sew this together, I need to sew the top of the fly facing to the bottom of the inner waistband, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I finished this. I even understitched it right here, attached it to the fly facing. Now it's ready to apply to the other side of the zipper. Place these right sides together, and I'm going to sew up the crotch seam just up to where the end of the zipper is. Okay, so I finished and top stitched the bottom, like the French crotch area. I have to overlap this, and it's gonna overlap by a ¼ inch because I only sewed a ¼ inch seam allowance here. And then I'm going to keep that in place. I'm going to sew the facing and the fly facing to the other side of the zipper, and making sure that I move the fly shield out of the way. First, I'm just gonna pin this in place. So then I can go like this. So I'm gonna sew that tomorrow because it's getting late. I wanna go to bed. I need my beauty rest. So yeah, we will revisit this. I'm so excited. Good morning! Today is the day that we finish this beautiful jumpsuit. I'm gonna start right out with the zipper, okay? This is gonna be good, this is gonna be great. I pinned the entire facing to the zipper, and I'm gonna move the fly extension out of the way with a zipper flip. Oh, yes! You would not believe how relieved I am to have the zipper pretty much done. Anyway, let's move on. It's beautiful! Let me show you the back. All that remains is that fly front top stitch. Okay, as long as I don't turn around. We're keeping things decent here. My dream has come true. This is such a crucial moment when you're sewing, because when you try it on and you see that it's working and you see that your fabric choice is like, then it just excites you to finish and it gives you a burst of energy. Perfection! And if I just feel too monochromatic, I can just go like, hey! I've already sewn the center back seam and top stitched it with a nice double stitch, and now I'm going to lay it right sides together with the shoulders of the front and sew those up at ½ inch. Then I'm taking my under collar and my top collar, place them right sides together and sew around the outer edge. I'm going to clip the corners, trim them so that they turn out nice and pointy. I'm going to sew the hem facing right sides together on the bottom of the sleeve. Fold up 1/4 inch along the edge. Did this gorgeous double stitch. It just looks so professional, if I do say so myself. Now I'm going to sew the side seams along with the sleeve. Sleeves are done and they look gorgeous. I've already sewn a double basting stitch in here and gathered it, and I'm going to sew the waistband to this. So right sides together, matching the notches, matching center back. With the inner waistband, I'm going to also sew that together. The inner and outer waistband in. So I'm taking my 2 back pant legs. I've already sewn the dart in, and we're going to apply the back pockets. So I already have them marked with little drill holes here. I'm gonna pin it in place and then sew a double stitch around the edge. Pockets are done. Now it's time to sew up the center back seam, right sides together, and I'm also gonna top stitch it as well. Done! I'm kind of realizing right now that I probably should have used a contrasting thread. I kind of wish I used a denim thread, like that orangey colored denim thread, because I feel like you can't really see the pockets as well and the detailing as well, and it would have still been pretty subtle if I had done the usual denim thread. It's way too far to go back now. I still think it looks really good, but I just kind of wish I thought of that earlier. I'm going to place the pant right sides together, front to back, and sew up the out seams. Side seams are done. Now I need to sew the waistband together, so I'm going to sew the outer waistband to the pant. The outer waistband is sewn to the pant. Now we just have to finish off the inner waistband. So from the outside, I'm going to pin the inner waistband just along the stitch line, and then we're going to top stitch from the outer waistband all the way around. I sewed part of the pocket bag in and missed some of the inside, so I have to fix that. The waistband is done. I'll sew up both inseams and then I will hem it. It's already pre-folded. Okay, so now we're doing the neckline, adding that collar in. I have to put the wrong side, the under collar, facing the mane, and the right side, top collar, facing the facing. So now I just need to sandwich it between the facing as well, and we're gonna pin that in place, matching all the notches. And then I'm just going to sew this, understitch it, and it'll be done. The jumpsuit of my dreams is done. So like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed this video, and let me show you what it looks like.